This is one of the more fantastically flying float RC airplanes I've tried. It is the FMS Ranger 1.2. I mean, there are so many things that are great on this RC airplane when you fly it on wheels, but on floats, I think it's just a beautiful one. I love this kind of checker edges on this RC airplane, and you also have this underside with the checkers then. So this is just a super fun plane, so easy and also really lightweight, and I'm enjoying this one every time. So let's go to the lake and get this one flying. First do some reverse thrust, which is a feature then on the avian speed controller I have inside. This one is really easy to get up, more or less just get it rolling and just make a throttle push for the elevator, then you're up in the air. A super fantastic water flying RC airplane in this FMS Ranger. I mean, I do enjoy this one more on floats than on wheels, just because its landings are just so uneventful and great. And inverted flying with this one is just fantastic. I mean, it's not as able as, for instance, the Arrows RC Bigfoot in similar size, or some of my other, like the Clipping Cub from E-Flight, because it is a little bit lacking in power. And this one runs on a 3S 2200 milliamp, and I've tried the 4S on this RC airplane, but there isn't really enough cooling on the engine. So if you do 4S flight, then you will certainly just start to melt the motor mount. So I stay away from 4S and just do 3S and you'll be fine. And although this is a kind of Cessna-like plane, which is not really meant to do aerobatics, this one is so fun and really able and forgiving when you fly it. Even without flaps, it flies so darn slow. And I got a nice speed to it and power also, without being anywhere near like the Arrows RC Bigfoot then, but still really, really good. And I also think it's visible when you fly it, so it's enjoyable to see. I could see some improvement on this RC airplane. For instance, if FMS then would decide to do a version 2, include some LED lights, that would be really great. I also think that they could improve cooling on the motor then, and to make it 4S compatible. That would make this one just a really speedy and exciting RC airplane to fly. But more or less, it's just almost perfect as is. And I've also tried the smaller FMS Ranger 850, which I also think is a fantastic RC airplane if you just look beyond the weak nose gear then. So you can see, inverted flying, just excellent. You fly low if you are able to. And today I also have a really beautiful sky with great contrast for filming. Hardly any wind where I'm standing. Just further out in the lake there is some wind, but over here is very enjoyable. You don't have to fight anything. Just go around the sky, do whatever you like. I'm trying to keep this plane as close as possible, just to have a good look at it. So that, of course, does put a little bit of limits of what can be done, because sometimes I just like to fly further away. But for filming, for just you guys to see this plane, I'm just trying to keep it as close as possible, still having a good time. And I have, I guess, around 700 meters just to the other side of the lake then, so there's just ample space to do things. And it's really rock solid, this Ranger. And although it doesn't roll so really super fast, I think it's okay, and I've increased throw then on the aileron just to have it kind of maxed out. Then I'm satisfied. I think it flies really well. You can make really tight turns with this plane without it dropping any wing, because it's a really lightweight plane and a good wing area also. So I would say that there is no bad flying tendency to this plane. I had struggled a little bit to do like inverted loops, so that's something I'm a little bit scared of doing. But let's get this one down then. Usually very easy. Okay, let's go around one more time. Just want to have the landing quite near to where I'm standing. So timer is up. And then without flaps, it does slow down really nice. Just try to get it kind of close to where I'm standing. And yeah, down in a really good way. This is a fantastic float RCR plane, which I cannot recommend high enough. It's just absolutely fantastic, this FMS Ranger.